Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As I said, I was doing sort of New Year check-ins on teams. Yesterday I did one about the Lions. You can go have a look at that video somewhere on the timeline here. But today, I'm going to talk a bit about the Sharks and just where they are. They're going through some interesting changes at the moment. We all saw Sean Everett left after that Cardiff loss, that really embarrassing loss in the rain to Cardiff, which Sharks fans were not at all happy about, and very understandable. Um, and since then they've had their Springboks back. They've put in a couple of powerhouse performances, big wins over the Lions and the Bulls. Really cemented their sort of spot there in the top sort of six of the URC. Still got two games in hand, and they're going to, they probably leapfrog the Bulls as the competition goes on. But their biggest problem is probably that the gulf between their top side and the non-Springboks, so when those 9, 10 Springboks aren't playing, is quite big. And that's where probably they're going to be tested the most. As we know, they go through Europe now. They're off to play Connacht at the moment, and then they 2 European games again, and then they have another URC game, and then the Springboks all get rested back then because obviously the Springboks haven't really had the time off. The rest of the guys have had time off, sort of in the off season after the URC season. Springboks went straight into rugby championship and then straight on to the end of year tour, and so they really haven't had an off season. So that there's been an arrangement with the World Cup coming on that these guys get a month off, and with the Sharks having the bulk of the Springboks in the local, the local sort of teams, that they're going to lose a lot of those games. That means a couple of things. It means obviously they're going to go through those couple of games. They've got 2 derbies against the Stormers. They've got 1 or 2 other games where they're going to be without their Springboks, which will be very interesting. And those 2 derbies against the Stormers, you got to really feel for the guys because those are the 2 probably biggest games of the year now, which are going to be without any Springboks. Stormers will also be without their Springboks for those games. That obviously robs South Africans of that big clash between the defending champions and the Springboks at the Sharks, which is really a pity. I think we all would have liked to see that, and it also means the Sharks at a crucial point in their campaign are going to need to be there with their Springboks for the European Cup games, but they will be without them for some URC games. Just how that translates into their long-term ambitions for the competition, we'll just wait to see. But there's also some other changes going on at the Sharks at the moment. Obviously, Neil Powell's come in. He's been appointed director of rugby. He's going to start putting his mark down in the team. And then you've got to look at Yannick Bruce, still there for the rest of the season, but he's leaving to go back to coach Bordeaux. The Sharks have got some. They don't have a head coach at the moment, which they'll be looking out for, and they'll be looking to recruit a forwards coach as well. So it's going to be interesting times in Durban the next couple of weeks. And I think the worry is that you get to a point as Sharks fans where the Sharks fans want to see the Springboks and they don't see the second string team as being as the same standard. And I think that's something the Sharks will have to work on. They've got some really good talent there. They just need to bring them through. But obviously, when you're talking about 9, 10 Springboks, of which 7 or 8 of them are World Cup winners, it's kind of difficult to have a backup for that for any team. Never mind the Sharks. The other news that's sort of come through in the past couple of days is that Siya Kolisi will be leaving, signing for Racing Metro. Thomas du Toit signed for Bath. So you're going to be losing a couple of players as well. There's going to be some players coming through, which obviously they'll try and bring through, but they're probably going to be looking to buy a few players as well. So you can keep an eye out on that and be interesting to see the moves. So there's going to be a lot of movement around the Sharks in the next couple of months. I think after they get through these next European games, they're going to be looking to shore up that sort of structure. Their Currie Cup team will, and the youngsters going through there, Joey Monkhali will take the Currie Cup. It'll be very interesting to see how he does. He's a very talented coach, and you can see the difference in the Bulls' defense since he's left as well. So a lot's going to happen along the Sharks in the next couple of months, and it'll be interesting to see how they do. I think their biggest question at the moment is just how good their so-called second team is going to be, and their second stringers, so to speak, when the Springboks are away, and how much that impacts them in the long run. But given when they get their Springboks back, look and run into the championship, they're going to be difficult to beat, and even if it's away from home, but if they can secure a home quarterfinal, home semi-final, they're going to be tough to beat in Durban. So yeah, that's where I see the Sharks at the moment. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Where do you see them? And yeah, please click that subscribe button and share this video if you can to other Shark supporters. And it's always good chatting to you. So good chatting to you, and just keep an eye out for these videos. There's the Lions ones already on the site, and in the next couple of days I'll be doing ones about the Bulls and the Stormers as well. So always good chatting, and thanks for watching, and chat to you soon.